Alright everyone, just a fun, different type of video. We're going to be doing a tier list of how fun the characters are to play. I obviously know tier lists can be very long, so I've already put up all the characters and I'll just explain some general principles. We're not going to go into each one of the characters, but we'll take a deep dive into Kokomi and Ayaka right here. So, this is a tier list all about how fun and fluid characters are to play. So what is my criteria? Well, generally speaking, characters that have a very bare bones kit but that end up having an extremely complex depth in terms of their execution and how you play them are generally way more fun for me. Characters that are very fluid in terms of their animation about and their abilities and their skill expression, I generally put more towards the top than the bottom. So I think let's just start at the bottom. You can see sort of why I put Venti right here, because you press Q and it's, that's it, the game's over. You just then spam your abilities and yeah, you've just grouped up all the enemies. There's no skill involved whatsoever. It's the same with Bennett. Literally Q and now you've got the damage to take care of the enemies. It's really not that good. Sif's playstyle, I generally have reserved for Claymore characters like Xinyan, Chongyun, Daluk, and sort of Noel. Generally speaking, Claymore characters are they feel stiff. It feels like if you're used to Catalyst and like Polearm and Melee characters, and you sort of suddenly swap to a Claymore character, then you've got lots of hit lag. It's not fun to play at all. Except, of course, if I looked at Ito Arataki in the new upcoming 2.3 sort of banner and sort of a patch that we're getting, he looks to be like Eula, a bit more fun, a bit more fluid in terms of their playstyle. And that's generally why I sort of grouped them here in neutral. I should just explain as well, archers in general are not my thing. Actually, I should put you here. Sorry, Goro. But the reason why I don't like archers is because aiming in this game is really simple. But archers as well, you can get interrupted unless you stand behind a shield, in which case you just sit at the back of the map and shoot, not really engaging with the game like the rest of the other classes. So it's not really that fun. The neutral characters, I don't mind playing these characters. They each have their own depths and strengths in terms of what they can apply. A Diona is very fluid, for instance. Visual. A Razor's fun, just hack and slash. So each one of these characters has got like a bit of a different variety in playstyle, and that's sort of why they're really cool. In the generally fun category, I don't have Kazuha, but he seems to be like a very fun character. The reason I've got Jean, Beta, and Mona, and Chao here is because the skill expression, how you play these characters, really determines the results you get. And Jean herself is criminally underrated in terms of having a very bare bones kit and being able to do so much with it. Meliodas counter, being able to dash around the map, plunging attacks, so much fun. Taxi, she's just great for traveling around. I don't mind playing Sayu even in the Abyss. Child would be here if it wasn't for his cooldown, teleporting. This character is criminally underrated as well for her ability to variably buff a team. Kaching is in the same situation as sort of Jean. Very simple kits, lots of expression. How you play the character can make an enormous difference. So at the top tier, we've got Klee. I've mostly gotten all the mechanics of Klee correct and sort of memorized. I love Klee. There's so much mechanical depth just to a very bare bones character in terms of what she does. Paired with Sacred Winds to the Last Prayer, she's a ton of fun. Raiden Shogun is a very complex character. But with that said, there's so much depth and infinite skill ceiling with her in terms of how you manage the character, because you've got the resolve to manage and being able to sometimes use your elemental burst just for battery purposes as opposed to just DPS is a skill in of itself. Being able to cancel early out of your elemental burst, choosing which attack sequences will be appropriate for when you do your elemental burst is also a skill in of itself. And that's also why I like Raiden Shogun. I've had lots of fun. I can grind her out for hours in the Abyss in order to improve my mechanics. Now, with Kokomi and Ayaka, I'm going to speak about Ayaka first. So Ayaka, we've obviously done a lot of solo no damage runs on the channel, and I think my position on Ayaka is clear. She's number one in the game for me because again, having a very simple kit or seemingly simple kit and having infinite skill ceiling with her dash mechanic, being able to simultaneously attack and dodge is such an advanced and fun skill with Ayaka. It's just, I love this character to bits, and I think, you know, it's a character that is so underrated because she essentially removes the need for healing, for shields, just depending on how you play her. And I think that's the whole point of my challenge runs, my no damage runs, is to show people how much value you can actually extract out of this character. She is just the top tier. She is literally, she should be in her own Ayaka tier. I love her. She is just the best character. Kokomi. Kokomi is a character that a lot of people hate because they think she is more simplistic than what she really is. She is an incredibly complex character. I would say even more complex perhaps than the Raiden Shogun. And that is not because of her abilities. Her abilities are very simplistic. What makes Kokomi so unique and fun is, well, A, it's her animations are extremely smooth, and the fact that you can attack at range. She's got like the largest range of all the catalysts. It's just insane, the range on this character. But apart from those sort of gameplay aspects of her, she role compresses so much. Being able to deal damage, tank, heal, and provide off-field utility, which is in the form of off-field hydro application and healing, is just insane. It's almost broken. The only thing that I think that the devs really did right is that they gave her no crit rate, in which case her damage is a bit lower than the rest, because imagine she had Ganyu level damage. She would be absolutely broken, because now this character negates the entire need for Zhongli. She negates the need for dodging, for stamina management. She can just have an incredible amount of damage. So, and that is just the surface level of it. So where Kokomi really becomes fun to play is in her tactical sort of ability. So what do I mean by that? Because Kokomi doesn't crit, you know exactly what your numbers are, which means to a very dangerous extent, you can manipulate enemy health pools in the Spiral Abyss in such a way that you prevent over-attacking, you prevent under-attacking, you can facilitate the rate at which you want to build your elemental burst for the rest of your party. This character can clean up fights very comfortably while saving your main DPS's ultimates for like some of the heavier hitting enemies. Her ability to tactically reposition her jellyfish, when to cancel early, when to refresh that cooldown early, when and how to use it. There's so much packed into this character that I think people really have missed her. And with her new artifact set coming out, again, it's now been confirmed in a 2.3 live stream, her DPS is also then going to be pushed quite higher. So that's also going to make her criminally strong, because now she gets AoE in addition to her normal attacks, which just rounds out this character to be so much. She will essentially do so much that I think she'll do the most out of any character in this game. And that is why Kokomi, in a certain sense, she's almost fundamentally broken, just like Bennett is, but because her multipliers and everything has been well thought out, she's actually brought back to be like fairly balanced. People often say, you know, don't use Everlasting Moonglow with Kokomi, just use Prototype Amber. But when I play Kokomi with Everlasting Moonglow, the change of one weapon to the other influences so much of her playstyle that it just irritates me. So that is why there's so much depth packed into her. And when you play Kokomi a lot, especially at a C6 level, you gain a real sort of respect for what this character can actually do and facilitate. It is absolutely insane. And that makes her arguably incredibly fun. I've really had, it's been such a pleasure playing these four characters. They are the top tier for me. Simple kits except for Raiden, but complex depth that no one can really truly imagine. And yeah, so that's it for this tier list. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Let me know what your most fun characters are, and see you guys around. Cheers.